Both players appear well prepared for this Nimzondian defense Samisk variation in Sardinia World Chess Festival 2025 Open Around 3, leading to an exciting battle ahead. On d4. Knight f6. On c4. On e6. Knight c3. Bishop b4 entered in Nimzondian defense Samisk variation. On a3. Bishop takes c3 check. On takes c3. On b6. On f3. Knight c6. On e4. On d6. Bishop d3. Knight a5. Knight e2. Bishop a6. Knight g3. Queen d7. Bishop g5. King castled queenside. It is novelty move. Threatening bishop takes c4. On c5 played by van der Lende. Threatening bishop takes a6 check. Bishop takes d3 played by Narayanan SL. Queen takes d3. On takes c5. Queen a6 check. King b8. Threatening pawn takes d4. Rook b1 played by van der Lende. Threatening queen takes a5. Knight b7 played by Narayanan SL. Threatening pawn takes d4. Knight e2 played by van der Lende. On e5. Narayanan SL is looking to play. On takes d4. On takes d4. On takes d4, and increase their advantage significantly. Bishop e3 played by van der Lende. Knight g8. King f2. On f5. On takes f5. Knight e7. Threatening pawn takes d4. On takes c5 played by van der Lende. Knight takes f5. On takes b6. On takes b6. Bishop takes b6. On takes b6. Rook takes b6. On e4. Do not rush. Can you find the strongest move for van der Lende? On g4 is logical continuation as. On e3 check. King g2. Knight h4 check. King g3. Rook hf8. Knight d4 position is equal shifting to the main variation. On e4. On takes e4 is not the best move played by van der Lende. Rook hf8. Rook takes b7 check. Queen takes b7. Queen takes b7 check. King takes b7. Rook b1 check. King c7. Narayanan SL is preparing to play. Knight d4 check. Knight f4. Knight e6. On g3. On g5. Rook b4. On takes f4, and secure a stronghold in the game. On takes f5 played by van der Lende. Rook takes f5 check. King e1. Rook df8. Rook b4. Rook f1 check. King d2. Rook 1 f2. Rook c4 check. King b6. Rook b4 check. King c5. Narayanan SL intends to play. Rook e8. King d3. Rook takes e2 and dominate the board. King e3 played by van der Lende. Rook takes g2. Knight f4. Rook e8 check. King f3. Threatening knight takes g2. Rook takes h2 played by Narayanan SL. Knight d3 check. King d6. Rook d4 check. King e7. Narayanan SL considers playing. Rook c8. On c4. Rook a2. On c5. Rook takes a3. King g4. Rook c3, and dominate the board. On c4 played by van der Linde. Rook a2. Narayanan SL intends to play. Rook takes a3. King e2. On h5. On c5. Rook c8. Rook d5. On h4. Rook h5. Rook a4, and increase their advantage significantly. Knight e5 played by van der Linde. King e6 stop here and find the strongest move for van der Linde. Knight d7 is a strong choice, since Rook takes a3 check. King f4. Rook c8. Knight b6. Rook f8 check. King e4 still van der Linde is losing. Let's proceed to the main line. King e6. Narayanan SL wants to play. Rook f8 check. King e4. Rook e2 check. King d3. Rook takes e5. On a4. King e7. On a5. On g5. On a6, and take decisive advantage. Rook d3 slightly worse move played by van der Linde. Rook f8 check. Van der Linde had no choice but to throw in the towel.